I have been on these waters for quite some time. I have been steering this ship on the sea. Far from the coastline, I'm looking for a place where I can be. Somewhere to belong and a home to long for when I'm away. But I seem to have lost my way in this fog. I can barely see a thing through the smoke in this cold. I don't seem to remember my name or where I belonged in the old. I became a stranger to myself the moment I set sail. I began sinking way before the journey began. The passengers I let in were too heavy to keep the ship afloat. I permitted pieces of myself from the past by which I am no longer defined to board my ship. Things I could not be, the losses I grieved, the passions lost, friendships that expired, promises that manufactured broken pieces, the lies, all the self-hatred and shame, the nights when pain stayed to scare sleep away, when my mind was a galaxy of a billion things that were killing me in silence and ripping my heart away, when memories of when I fought and lost came flooding in, reminders of the sorrow that reigned when I waited for the ones who never returned, of when I searched and yet did not find. From when I just wasn't fine to the night the ones closest felt like strangers because in my own grief they had lost me. All these were the cause of my shipwreck. I was somewhere lost in the sea, unable to see through this mist. I couldn't tell which way was leading back home. The sea was unsteady and seemed ready to see the end of me. So I was searching for a lighthouse, a guide to a place devoid of chaos. I needed to be rescued when the sun fell behind his curtains and I was almost drowning. I was at the very blink of letting go when I found hope in the dark, just a second away from my fall. There was a light from a tower that could only be seen in the darkest hour. It was a lighthouse, guiding me safely like a ship with a broken compass after a seemingly endless parade of loneliness. I felt remembered at last. I felt like someone has been looking out for me, truly watching over me, maybe a stranger from afar, or a friend or family, but I definitely was loved and I wasn't truly alone. As I walked away, I picked pieces of hope in the dark while I drowned, and focused on the light and trusted the night would soon end and the darkness would fade. The lighthouse was a flicker of hope, the silent whisper that assured me amid its chaos that peace shall be found, the anchor to the belief that pain has an end and I will find myself again. The lighthouse in that hour was like a blazing fire to the tower where peace had no end. Yet through all of this, it was God at work inspiring every strand of hope, standing as a tower for the lighthouse through every hour it desired to return home. When it became too heavy and the heart grew dark, it was Him who brought me friends to shine through the unseen and lighten the burden at the sin. But who am I without hope? A lost cause without a home. Maybe an empty shell waiting for the soil to bury me under when I'm already gone. Or maybe a seeming endless loop of sorrow. But without hope, life passes me on to the next without I ever truly living. So to the ones losing hope, I beseech you then, focus on the lighthouse and let the pain bleed away to where hope shines far in the dark, where you are not alone, where you are seen and truly remembered and loved and never forgotten. There is hope to be found in the dark. Approved. Cavizel.